Hello and welcome to Dose with Grace. I hope you're doing well and taking very good care of yourself. Today I'm back with the chapter 2 of Srimad Bhagwat Geeta. We had started this in the last video, and yes, there is a gap before I could come up with chapter 2. The delay was because of a lot of reasons. My daughter had mock exams, my son had a excursion trip, and those were my duties as a mother, to be around them. And though I was so much thinking from last so many days that I should prepare this video, but I wanted a time when I have literally completely free mentally, and I can devote this energy into creating this video. So I know it has been a bit of a gap, but maybe it is the perfect gap, the way it is designed. So I hope you enjoyed the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which was my previous video. If you haven't, before going through this video, please go through that one, because that is a very important context to fully understand this chapter. So let's begin without much ado. First, let's say the prayers, the two powerful, very blissful mantras to begin our video. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Thank you for joining back. I'm sorry for certain disturbances in terms of voices, because there's a constant construction going on in one or the other floor. And though I try to avoid making a video on a day, it is very, very closer to my floor, but nonetheless, you may hear certain sounds, so please ignore them. Hopefully, we are able to successfully bring out the essence of chapter 2, because chapter 2 in Bhagavad Gita is actually a very, very important chapter, because it is also called the essence of Bhagavad Gita. इसको गीता का सार भी कहा जाता है. तो बहुत से मायनों में there is so much wisdom, there is so much knowledge that has been said in this chapter by Bhagwan Krishna himself. So to be able to first understand that, to be able to sink in that, and to be able to understand that how it is applicable to our everyday life, every minute of our day, is extremely important. Because once we get this, all the other chapters, all the other remaining 16 chapters are basically, it's almost like somebody tells you there is a process called photosynthesis and condensation, and then in the further chapters it is explained how it happens, the detailed process of it. So when we left chapter 1, Arjun is in a very emotional turmoil, and he is completely bewildered in terms of what is his dharma, not in terms of his shakti or power to be able to win, but his judgment to even take this war into his hands and fight with his own family members. Basically, it is called a dharm yudh. So he's bewildered on many levels, and it is made more clear in a question that he poses in chapter 2, And the way Krishna answers him gives us a greater clarity of our state of minds in most of the times, in most of the situations, even in our everyday situations, when we are too attached to a certain outcomes of life, and or we are too afraid to not have certain outcomes of life. um, so rag and dvesh, that is attachment, and um, dvesh is probably the opposite of that, which is aversion. We are either attracted towards a certain outcome, or we are having an aversion to not have a certain outcome. And these are the two things that majorly determine our life. Even for Arjun, he is basically having an aversion towards the pap, the sin that he might acquire by killing his kith and kin, and not knowing whether all the riches, the benefits that he will get after winning this battle is actually worth it. Is there any attraction he's having any more towards it? Before I start this chapter, I would like to share two major things that I learned during the course of this time, that between the chapter 1 and after reading chapter 2, I couldn't actually uh, do this with you. But what learning came to me, I would also like to share with you, because I think it came to me to share here as well. Number one, Bhagavad Gita is not, as I keep reminding everybody, and that is also my purpose of sharing Bhagavad Gita here, because I know there are many videos you can watch which are created by people who are probably designated people who have to teach Bhagavad Gita, and who probably are saints, mutt ke bade pradhan, priests. So I'm actually basically a very normal, simple person who enjoys, who loves these learnings, and who is applying in my life. So I want to narrate it to you. One, because it is a great learning for me when I do that. That is one of the greatest benefits, that I'm remembering Srimad Bhagavad Gita for this time that I'm spending with you. And two is because there has to be a consciousness shift, that it is not meant for people who are either sitting in temples, or are priests, or people who are old and have nothing to do, so they should just read it and they will straight away get a moksha. No. Bhagavad Gita, if you really see, is being told to a man who is going to become a king. And who can be more valorous? Who can be more in luxury and responsibility and accountability than a king? So this is being told by Krishna to Arjuna, who is soon going to be one of the kings, and he will be accountable to so many people and will be taking so many decisions, and will be having so many riches to behold and to enjoy. So this is, and he's in the prime of his life. He is a warrior who is at the prime of his life. So try to understand, the whole intention of my creating these videos is to let you know that please read Bhagavad Gita just like you read hundreds of comics. Just like your children read hundreds of comics, they can read Bhagavad Gita too. Just like you read hundreds of novels and magazines and go through pages and pages and so many videos on the YouTube, you can always pick up Bhagavad Gita and read it just like a book. And trust me, it will transform your life. Because this is our connection to Brahman, the source of our being. And this knowledge has directly been transcended from our source to us. This is a living Guru. The second thing I want to share with you is that during this course of reading the chapter 2, in fact, there were situations that kept coming in my life. They do otherwise too. But more specifically, in this time period of 2 weeks, there were situations that I was fortunate to come across, which were not easy. They were quite challenging, quite draining for me to fully understand and apply the concepts of chapter 2. And I realized that how much of it, this Bhagavad Gita, is a living guru. It is polishing you as you're reading it, and it is giving you opportunities to apply them in your real daily lives. So, second learning that I learned, this was my own experience that I'm sharing. So, second learning that I learned is from one of the person who is a very big devotee of Lord Shiva, and he was sharing in his one of his talks that there are different planes of existence, there are different realms of existence, and one of the realms is Earth, on which we come, take birth, and we learn our lessons, and we go to another realm, and then maybe we choose to come back again to learn further lessons. So this is the realm in which the duration of life is very short. For example, if you read our Upanishads, if you read our Vedas, you will come to know that one day of Brahma is a very long kala, is a very long period of time. And or even in different loka like Swargaloka, one day is very, very long compared to a day on earth. So why is it that we take birth? Because of the learnings that we have learned in those lokas. Here we can come and do our karmas so quickly and get our learning so quickly. So it's a gift. It's a gift. Many places you would have read that human birth is a gift. This is why it is. Here we live about 70 to 90 years. And in this short span of, and every year is also very short compared to a year in some other realm. So imagine if you were living in a realm where you live for 600 to 700 years. You'll need 600 to 700 years to learn your karmic lessons and probably progress to a more evolved state of being. But here, just within 70 to 90 years, God bless your long life, still 70 to 90 years is the lifespan, a healthy lifespan in which you can learn all your karmic lessons, burn off your karma, be a far more evolved being, and find moksha. And yes, it is possible to find moksha, and that is what chapter 2 will direct you towards. So without much ado, let's understand the significance, the importance, and the beauty of this divine knowledge, a transcendental knowledge that raises our consciousness to much more growth levels, to the planes that give us that higher knowledge, that elevates our consciousness from these small little cravings that we have been stuck with, and that is causing us so much pain and suffering. How? Let me explain. Please don't bother much about the length of the video, because trust me, it is all going to be worth it. You can watch a movie for 2 hours, so you can definitely listen to Bhagwat Geeta Chapter 2, which is the essence and sar of Bhagwat Gita, for as long as it will take me to complete it. I'll try to be as on point as I can, but I have to cover the points. I cannot neglect such great wisdom by crisping it, making it shorter. So sit nicely and enjoy and delve into this wonderful learning of Srimad Bhagavad Gita told by Sri Krishna to Arjuna. Second chapter, it begins with Arjun, Sanjay telling Dhritarashtra. Remember, this Bhagavad Gita is being heard by four people: Krishna, who's telling, Arjuna, who's listening as a direct recipient, whereas there is also Sanjay, who has Divya Drishti, who's sitting in the palace and he's listening to everything. He can see and listen to everything that is happening as a conversation. And he's able to also narrate it to Dhritarashtra, who is the son of the father of Duryodhana. So Sanjay tells to Dhritarashtra that full of mercy and full of tears and full of agony, Arjun is looking at Sri Krishna, where we left in chapter 1, and Sri Krishna is telling to Arjun, "Hey Arjun, why are you so worried? What is making you so bewildered? This behavior doesn't suit you. Neither it suits your dharma, nor will it give you any glory. So, forget about all of this, get up and fight." It is very clearly written in the shlokas. He says, "हृदय की दुर्बलता को त्याग कर युद्ध के लिए खड़ा हो." Give up the durbalta is like give up this fragility of your heart and get up to fight. Then Arjun says, he is representing, I think, almost all of us. He says, in this battlefield, my grandfather, my teacher, the one who has literally taught me how to be the best warrior, how will I fight with them? Because both of them are extremely respectful to me, respectable to me. They are extremely someone I look up to. And he says, after killing them, if I get something, what will it be? It will be something that will be related to money, ऐश्वर्य, इससे सने हुए अर्थ और काम रूप भोगों को ही तो भोगूंगा. Arth means money or desires. Something that is desirable to me, I will receive that. Or something that my ichha, my kamna, or my choices are asking for. So he says, very important shloka, which is the 6th shloka. It says, हम लोग ये भी नहीं जानते हैं कि हमारे लिए क्या करना श्रेष्ठ है, और हम ये भी नहीं जानते हैं कि हम जीतेंगे या हमको वो जीतेंगे, और जिनको मारकर हम जीना भी नहीं चाहते हैं, वे धृतराष्ट्र के पुत्र हमारे सामने खड़े हैं. So he says in the 7th shloka, जो कुछ निश्चय किया हुआ कल्याणकारक साधन हो वह मेरे लिए कहिए, क्योंकि मैं आपका शिष्य हूँ. इसके लिए आपके शरण हुए मेरे को शिक्षा दीजिए. Now look at the humility of world's best warrior. He says, I don't know. That is where all knowledge begins. That is the first learning we get from this, what Arjuna says. He says, I don't know. First of all, what will I get out of killing them? I'll get something which is related to my desires. I will get something that gives me luxury. All of that is not worthy of killing them. Plus, I don't know what is Shresht means. I don't know what is the highest good. I don't know if I will win, or I don't know if they will win. So somewhere he is also being extremely rational here. He is not being full of ahankar. He is not being full of ego. that of course I will win. He's like, I don't know if it is right. So, as your disciple, I am standing before you. Tell me what is the right thing and what is the God's will. Let me know. In a very subtle way, he's asking that. Because he says, after killing them, after winning this battle, winning everything also, सब स्वामी पने को प्राप्त होकर भी मैं उस उपाय को नहीं देखता हूं जो मेरी इंद्रियों को सुखाने वाले शोक को दूर कर सके. इंद्रियां आर आर 5 सेंसेस. इंद्रियों के शोक को सुखाने वाले, इंद्रियों को सुखाने वाले शोक को दूर कर सके. Imagine he's saying, when I'll see from my eyes what I've done, it will give me pain. How many of us even care about what we are doing? All we care about is results. We don't even look at the means. We want our child to be the best. We don't realize in 12 years of their schooling how many children they have bullied, how many children they have walked over, how many people they have hurt with their arrogance, with their upmanship. We don't even realize. In winning something, sometimes we don't even realize what wrong we are doing. And this is the learning we get from this question that is posed by Arjun, that he is so sensitive, he is so considerate, which shows that he is so evolved, and that is why he is such a worthy disciple of Sri Krishna. To be able to get that saubhagya, to be able to get that mercy to be his disciple and to learn directly from him, you have to be of such caliber. And that is what Arjuna was. Despite being the best of the best, he has doubts. He is telling God, I don't know what is right. I don't know if winning is right. I don't know if winning through these means is right. And this winning will give me pain. Do we ever care about what have we done at the cost of what we have won? We hardly look at it. We are only looking at what we have won. And it's a huge learning. It's a huge learning. This is just the first 8 shlokas of 2nd chapter, and it tells us how small we are compared to what Arjuna was. Look at his posing of questions. Do we ever care if we clearly know we are going to be winning? We only care about that. We are so driven by this need to fulfill our desires that we have not grown beyond those mindsets. Even today, I look at old people also. All they want is this should happen, this should happen, should happen, should happen, at the cost of what? They don't care. They only want their betterment. Children, they are being pumped this idea of winning, 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 winning. But what is dharma yukt winning? What is the winning according to dharma? That is why it is very, very important that they shouldn't do all the bad karmas in their entire life due to this spirit of that, that thing that is inculcated in them to win, 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 be the best, best, best. They may do so many bad karmas in the way. They may hurt so many people, invite so many miseries in their lives. That is why it's so important for your children to know Bhagwat Gita. And they will only know if you know Bhagwat Gita. So it is for the parents to first learn Bhagwat Gita and sit with their children and discuss with them. Not just as an intellectual talk, but to be able to absorb it in their life and to be able to live their life according to the principles. So Sanjay says, निद्रा को जीतने वाले अर्जुन अंतर्यामी श्री कृष्ण भगवान महाराज के प्रति इस प्रकार कहकर फिर युद्ध नहीं करूंगा ऐसे स्पष्ट कहकर चुप हो गए. So Arjuna clearly says, because of all of these things that are going on in my mind, that is making me completely confused, I will not fight. It is shloka number 9, and clearly Arjun says, Yuddh nahi karunga. Like how sometimes the children say, I will not do it. What do? We get angry, we start raising our hand on them, or sometimes we try to manipulate them. Now listen what Sri Krishna did. अंतर्यामी श्री कृष्ण महाराज ने दोनों सेनाओं के बीच में उस शोकयुक्त अर्जुन को हंसते हुए से ये वचन कहे. श्लोका नंबर 10. When Arjun says all these things, Sri Krishna is smiling. It's very clearly written in the shloka, and he tells Arjuna, he tells him, you are unnecessarily bothered. And he says it with a very gentle smile on his face. तू ना शोक करने योग्यों के लिए शोक करता है और पंडितों के से वचन को कहता है. ना ही तू शोक करने वालों के लिए शोक करता है और ना ही पंडितों के से वचन कहता है. परंतु पंडित जन जिनके प्राण चले गए हैं उनके लिए, जिनके प्राण नहीं गए हैं उनके लिए भी शोक नहीं करते हैं, क्योंकि आत्मा नित्य है. वास्तव में ना कोई ऐसा समय काल था जब मैं नहीं था अथवा तू नहीं था अथवा ये राजा लोग नहीं थे, और ना ही ऐसा और इसके आगे कभी होगा कि ये सब नहीं रहेंगे. श्लोका नंबर 12 is the beginning of his teachings to Arjuna about what is our true existence. And our true existence is not our body, but the soul that lives within our body. Our body is just like a clothes that we are wearing. So suppose I am wearing these clothes. In the previous video I was wearing some other clothes. So he says the Atma is Nitya. Atma is Sanatan, something that is eternal. Bodies will come and go. And here he explains the whole detail about that. It may be very easy concept for people who are already aware of the concept of soul and body and reincarnation and many lives, many bodies. It's not necessarily that this concept is only prevalent in East. Many Western people are also aware of that. However, those who do not understand it, listen to this video patiently, and slowly you will be able to loosen your grip over some things that you thought or believed in a very strong way, and you can then go ahead, buy and purchase your own copy and read the chapter 2 to get a much clarity, so much more clarity in depth. Just like in our own body, so this is very relatable. Just like in our body, we are in the form of a baby, then an adult, then an old person. It's just similar to that. We don't get too attached to one type of our existence. We do have memories of them, but we cannot be attached. We cannot say I want to only remain a baby. I cannot say I only want to remain a young woman. I cannot say I want to remain an old woman and not die. It is not in my hands. It is just happening by the method of its own nature. अर्थात जैसे कुमार, युवा और जरावस्थला रूप सूथल शरीर का विकार अज्ञान से आत्मा में भासता है, वैसे ही एक शरीर से दूसरे शरीर को प्राप्त होना रूप सूक्ष्म शरीर का विकार भी अज्ञान से ही आत्मा में भासता है. So this is the sthul shrir. This is the gross body that you can see. You can touch your face, you can see your hands. This is the gross body. This gross body changes from the time we are born to the time we die. We change in our size, we change in our texture, we change in our growth, we change in our looks. However, there is subtle body, which is our Atma. That changes the bodies. just like our gross body changes its form, the subtle body that lives, the Atma, changes the bodies. So, like I may have had many bodies before, this is my current body, and I will have probably many bodies after. इसीलिए तत्व को जानने वाला धीर पुरुष इस विषय में मोहित नहीं होता है. सो तत्व मीन्स द ट्रुथ, द एसेंस, द अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ द एब्सोल्यूट ट्रुथ इज कॉल्ड तत्व. सो व्हेन यू नो द तत्व that all this is transient, it is kshanbhangur, it is not permanent, then you are not going to be delusioned by this as the truth. So then, because he said that I cannot tolerate seeing them, I cannot tolerate killing them, so he says, सर्दी गर्मी और सुख दुख को देने वाले इंद्रिय और विषयों के संयोग को क्षण भंगुर और अनित्य हैं. इसीलिए हे भरतवंशी, तू उनको सहन कर. ही इज सेइंग टॉलरेट इट. Haven't you realized sometimes you really love a weather and you love it so much, so much, so much? Maybe, I'm sure, if I ask you what is your favorite season, you will name one. For me, autumn is my favorite season. It is just wintry enough for me to feel comfortable and pleasant. And I love the fall of leaves. I love transitions. But would I love an autumn weather throughout the year and year after year and after years and years and years? No. Whatever you love the most also, if it gets continuously, perennially is offered to you, you will, over a period of time, your taste too of it will start reducing. Secondly, nothing can remain permanent. No matter how much I love autumn season, it cannot be there for the whole year. It can be only there for that season. Maybe that is why it has its own beauty. So, all of these things that our sense organs can see and enjoy from are only limited, only for a limited period of time, and also in a limited quantity. So, we must learn to tolerate them. Some things, similarly, some things which we don't like, we do not need to have aversion for that. Because again, it won't last. Like they say, these too shall pass. दुख सुख को समान मानने वाले जिस धीर पुरुष को ये इंद्रियां के विषय व्याकुल नहीं कर सकते, वह मोक्ष के लिए योग्य होता है. So as I told you, in this wonderful short lifetime of 70 to 90 years on this plane of earth, we can build ourselves to raise our consciousness to finally aspire for moksha. And how I said in chapter 2. So this is the first shloka that tells you that. It is shloka number 15, and it says, if happiness and sorrow is become same for you, and the pleasantness of what you see, hear, touch, taste and smell doesn't make you vyakul, as in it doesn't perturb you, it doesn't take away your attention, then you are capable of moksha. It is not easy, definitely, but there is a more and more learning you can get to probably align yourself to that kind of thought process. Now, he explains that even more. Shloka number 18 is where he says, इस नाश रहित अप्रमेय नित्य स्वरूप जीवात्मा के ये सब शरीर नाशवान कहे गए हैं. इसीलिए हे भरतवंशी अर्जुन, तू युद्ध कर. You must fight. So clearly Arjun has been given a direction by Sri Krishna to get up and fight. And then further, after the 18th shloka, Shri Krishna is explaining more and more about the qualities of our soul. He says the soul never dies, nor it can be killed, because it is unborn, absolute, eternal, and perennial. Even after our body dies, our soul never dies. It's clearly written in shloka number 20. शरीर के नाश होने पर भी ये नाश नहीं होता है. जो पुरुष इस आत्मा को नाश रहित, नित्य, अजन्मा और अव्यय मानता है. अव्यय means something that cannot end. अजन्मा or something that is not born. वह पुरुष कैसे किसी को मरवाता है और कैसे किसी को मारता है. यदि तू कहे कि मैं तो शरीरों के वियोग का शोक करता हूँ, तो यह भी उचित नहीं है. Now he goes to the next level of explaining Atma. He says, okay, even if you say that, okay, in this body, I don't want them to see them dying, then that too is not correct. Because just like an old clothes, we have old clothes, we always remove them and try to wear new clothes. Similarly, for the soul, the old bodies must be given away with, and a new body has to take a new body to start its new cycle of karma. This soul that takes the new body, leaves these bodies and takes the new bodies, nothing, no weapon can cut it, no fire can burn it, no water can wet it, and no air can dry it. क्योंकि ये आत्मा अच्छेद है, अदाह है, अलकेद है और अशोध्य है. और ये आत्मा निसंदेह नित्य, सर्वव्यापक, अचल, स्थिर रहने वाली और सनातन है. Sanatan means something that is eternal, that never ever ends. And then he takes it to third level. यदि तू इसे सदा जन्मने और सदा मरने वाला भी कहे, तो भी इससे शोक करने के योग्य नहीं है, क्योंकि होने से तो जन्म वाले की निश्चित मृत्यु और मरने वाले का निश्चित जन्म होना सिद्ध हुआ है. इससे भी तू इसके बिना उपाय वाले विषय में शोक करने के योग्य नहीं है. So he tells him again and again that even though a body has taken a birth, it has to die. And if it has died, it will take new birth. So there is no need for you to, remorse over someone who will die in this battle. In shloka number 21, he explains the understanding of Atma or our soul in three different ways. He says some people will understand this concept of soul with great astonishment. Similarly, some people will understand the truth with great astonishment, whereas some people will listen to it, will still not understand it. So there is, depending on your own level of understanding, intelligence and discretion and receptivity, you will understand this meaning or depth of what Atma is. So he says this Atma in shloka number 30, he's clearly written, ये आत्मा सबके शरीर में सदा ही अवध्य है, जिसका वध नहीं किया जा सकता, मीन्स दैट कैन नॉट बी किल्ड. इसीलिए संपूर्ण भूत प्राणियों के लिए तू शोक करने को योग्य नहीं है. सो यू शुडंट unnecessarily make yourself worried about the death and the killings that will happen in this battlefield through you. And then regarding the dharma. First is that anyway you're not killing them. This is a cycle that happens naturally. And what is truly continuous will anyway never die, and no one can ever kill it, which is Atma. Two, if you're thinking that am I doing according to dharma, then he's teaching him dharma. He says धर्म युक्त युद्ध से बढ़कर दूसरा कोई कल्याण कारक कर्तव्य क्षत्रिय के लिए नहीं है. Now, depending on our constitutional position in society, he says if you're doing what your constitutional position in society demands you to do, then there is no better dharma than that. Now, let's understand that this battle of Kurukshetra was not a choice that was put on the Pandavas and Kauravas. There was a lot of negotiations that happened to fully understand to what point this battle was decided and announced, and both the warring sides took the battlefield. You have to read Mahabharata. It's a very detailed account of what happened between these two families. This was the last resort. No amount of negotiation, to the point when Pandavas asked for only 5 small villages to rule as a part of their share from the huge territory that Kauravas had. They even denied them that. They tried to kill them. So there were a lot of reasons why this was the last resort to uphold the dharma within their Dharam Bhumi, which was the land of their forefathers. So this was, as a Kshatriya Dharma, they were supposed to take care of the land and put it to good use for not just themselves but also for the people who are the residents, and they are the responsibilities of these future kings. यदि तू इस धर्म युद्ध संग्राम को नहीं करेगा तो स्वधर्म को और कीर्ति को खोकर पाप को प्राप्त होगा, और ये सब लोग तेरी बहुत काल तक रहने वाली अकीर्ति को कथन कहेंगे, और वह अकीर्ति मनमाननीय मनुष्य के लिए मरण से भी अधिक बुरी होती है. Now, as I said, to fully understand the point why this is happening, you have to read the entire Mahabharata. However, here Krishna is trying to tell him that you need to do your swadharma. So one, we all have as the people who have jiva, we have life, we all have one dharma which is called Sanatan Dharma. The dharma that is eternal, our duty into this world, duty towards the Lord that has sent us into this world, duty from the source that we have come. We have taken a form, and this is for only a short while we have taken this form. We have a certain duty towards this form of life that has been gifted to us. And then there is called Swadharma, a dharma that is according to our constitutional position in the society, according to our gender, according to our role in society, according to the position that we acquire, and according to the knowledge that we have gained through our lifetimes to reach this point. So he's saying, according to your swadharma, you need to also fight. Because he says in verse number 37, that इस युद्ध करना तेरे लिए सब प्रकार से अच्छा है, क्योंकि या तो तू मरकर स्वर्ग को प्राप्त होगा अथवा जीत कर पृथ्वी को भोगेगा. इसलिए युद्ध के लिए निश्चय वाला होकर खड़ा हो. और यदि तुझे स्वर्ग या राज्य की इच्छा ना हो तो भी सुख दुख लाभ हानि जय पराजय को समान मानकर उसके उपरांत युद्ध के लिए तैयार हो. इससे तू पाप को प्राप्त नहीं होगा. Now in the verse 38, Sri Krishna tells Arjun. In verse 37, he told him there are 2 things that will happen if you win. One, you will get the land, you will win, and you will become the king, and you will get to rule. According to dharma, your side should be ruling. And 2, if you lose, if you die in this battle, you will go to heaven. Now, but then he goes to the next verse and immediately he says, even if you don't want to go to heaven, you don't care about winning or losing, you don't care about right or wrong, you don't care about happiness or pain, you don't care about losing or winning. You simply just fight because it is your swadharma and also it is your sanatan dharma. Just because if you fight with that intention that neither affects me, you will not have any karma attached to what you do. Now, have you ever heard of this? Until here, this was Gyan Yoga. So that is why I say chapter 2 of Bhagwat Geeta, not I say, but actually chapter 2 of Bhagwat Gita is the Sar of Bhagwat Gita, because in this you have Gyan Yoga, Nishkam Karm Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, and Atma Yoga. Everything is being told by Sri Krishna in a very, very, it's just flowing out of his throat. And then in the later chapters, as Arjuna keeps asking, he is further clarifying and further going into demystifying these very high level concepts. Now, he tells him about Nishkam Karm Yoga. A very simple way to explain this is that let's say there is a ladder and we start with Karma Kanda. So Karma Kanda is something that, for example, I keep fast, you do certain rituals, you go to temples, you do yagya, you do vidhi purvak puja. Some people go and they pray to their own temples. Some people build temples. So all of that comes under Karma Kand, which means you do a certain set of rituals that are prescribed and you are following them to the T. Some people are so attached to following those rituals to a frenetic level that they almost get angry if during the prayer something is amiss, so it's less about remembering God and it's more about following those things, that I have to go and do this in the morning, I have to do. They just think that just by doing these things they have realized God, and in the process they may actually be having all the vices that are there in them, which is krodh, lobh, moh, ahankar, so basically anger, ego, lust, envy, all of the jealousy, all these things are still very much in them and they are not able to get rid of them. And if you really see, that is the lowest rung of the ladder of understanding and truly realizing your own self. The next level is Sakam Karm Yoga. Sakam Karm Yoga means you want to do only good deeds because you want to only get good karma as a result. You want to have the benefits of good karma. So you only do good deeds. You clearly siphon off any bad deeds from your, according to Shastras, according to the religious books that we have, you understand what are good deeds and you only do the good deeds in your life very strictly, and you do it with a desire to get rid of any problems from your life. Either you do dan also, and when you're doing dan, you're doing because you want to become healthy, you want to have good children, you want to have a healthy and prosperous life, and or when you are doing some prayers, you're doing it because of that, with that intention, or anything, you're donating something, whatever. So that is called Sakam. Sakam means good karma, Karm Yoga, right? So that gives you a lot of benefits, that gives you a lot of riches, that can give you a lot of luxury, that can give you a lot of merits, and that also completely binds you to this cycle of birth and death, because that's a very vicious cycle. You may have many good karmas, but unfortunately, as we live life, there unknowingly we can do many bad karmas while doing very good karmas too. When you please someone, you are always displeasing another one. It's a duality that exists in our world, and maybe I can have a separate session on that, but whatever it is, Sakam Karma Yoga attracts a lot of good merit, but it also binds you completely to this world, which means that you are more possibilities of doing bad karmas here. The next in the ladder is called Nishkam Karma Yoga, where you give up all the fruits of whatever you do. You do not desire anything, but you just do your karma because you have to do it. For example, you do puja because that's your karma. You do prayers because it's your dharma. As a person who must do it, you just do it because you want to remember God and nothing else. You don't ask for anything in return, and you give rather all the fruits of all your good karmas to God. You dovetail it to God. Even the acts of services that you do, even the donations that you don't desire anything out of it. Not even good health, not even prosperity, longevity, some removing of any illnesses, or so there is no desire attached to doing those karmas. So that is called Nishkam Karma Yoga. And then above that comes the Bhakti Yoga, that is just pure love of God. So anything you're doing, it's just happening through you. You're not the doer. You do not even believe that you are the doer. Nishkam Karma Yoga is also a bit like that, but there is a great sense of duty in that. There is a great sense of desire to do the duty just for the sake of doing the duty is there. No desire of any return from that duty. That is called Nishkam Karma Yoga. So here Krishna is saying, इसी को अब सब निष्काम कर्म योग के विषय में सुन, जिस बुद्धि से युक्त हुआ तू कर्मों के बंधन से अच्छी तरह से नाश, बंधनों को अच्छी तरह से नाश करेगा. This is the shloka number 39, and the shloka number 40 is actually my favorite shloka in this chapter of Bhagwat Gita, and also in the entire Bhagwat Gita. There are two shlokas of Bhagwat Gita that I live by and try to live by, I would say, and I have to remind myself every single minute of my life for it, because it's very easy for our mind to get diverted. So this is the shloka number 40th, which is my favorite shloka. इस निष्काम कर्म योग में आरंभ का अर्थात बीज का नाश नहीं है और उल्टा फल स्वरूप दोष भी नहीं होता. इसीलिए इस निष्काम कर्म योग रूप धर्म का थोड़ा भी साधन जन्म मृत्यु रूप महान भय से उदार कर देता है. So basically the Nishkam Karma Yoga means that it is Nishkam, no desire. No desire Karma Yoga. Yoga means something that connects you to God, it's for the union to God, but karma. So not forgetting that you have to do your job. So the seed of any karma is desire. So Nishkam Karma Yoga, since it is desireless work, the seed is not destroyed. Seed is needed for something to prosper. Now, when you plant a seed, something will come out. Whatever you plant will come out. Even if it doesn't come out in this lifetime, in some lifetime it will come out. So that is what is the concept of karma. That when you plant a seed, it will germinate and it will take its shape of a tree, and then it will bear fruits. So those fruits are the benefits that we take. In Nishkam Karma Yoga, those benefits you don't desire. You don't ask for those benefits, and therefore if those seeds or fruits are going to be bitter or unhappy or full of pain, it doesn't come to you. But that seed also doesn't get destroyed. If you don't do karma, the seed itself is destroyed. You haven't started anything. But in Nishkam Karma Yoga, you do your karma, but you don't do it with any desire. Therefore, the benefits or the ill effects of that are not coming to you. They are completely dovetailed to God. So you just do your karma because as a service to God, and not to someone and not to somebody. हे अर्जुन, इस कल्याण मार्ग में निश्चयात्मक बुद्धि ही एक ही है और अज्ञानी पुरुषों की बुद्धि बहुत भेदों वाली अनंत होती है. Now this is a verse 41. It is very important that when we read, it's almost telling that when you are choosing to learn from many sources, there are many chances that you will be distracted, because one source is telling, many teachers can confuse you in a way, right? This is what, in a simplified way, I would say that my teacher can say something and your teacher can say something, so we can have difference of opinion because what my teacher said and what your teacher said. But if we really look at the teaching and not the teacher, if the teaching is of the highest level and is pure and absolute, then there will be no disagreement. I hope I made it clear, right? So sources, if we get too attached to who is telling, then there will always be difference of opinion. My guru says that, my guru says that, my guru. Listen to what the guru is saying. So focus on the teaching. All the highest of high gurus teach only same thing. They have only same teaching. Sabka Malik Ek, Satnam Vahe Guru. Jo bole so nihal. So whoever says becomes the grace. What is the next line? Sasriya Kal. That everything is him. Everything is one. And same it is said in even all different type of gurus. जो सकामी पुरुष केवल फल श्रुति में प्रीति रखने वाले, स्वर्ग को ही परम श्रेष्ठ मानने वाले, इससे बढ़कर और कुछ भी नहीं है ऐसे कहने वाले हैं, वे अविवेकी जन जन्म रूप कर्म फल को देने वाली और भोग तथा ऐश्वर्य की प्राप्ति के लिए बहुत सी क्रियाओं के विस्तार वाली इस प्रकार की जैसे दिखाऊ शोभा युक्त वाणी को कहते हैं. Now many gurus, especially in now's time, in these times, many priests, many gurus, many people from different communities and different type of you can say coaches and mentors and let's call it gurus, in today's world are trying to teach things that will tell you, okay, this will give you swarga lok, this will give you heaven, this will give you more money, this will give you more achievements, this will give, all of these will have very beautiful words to say. And it is said in Bhagwat Geeta thousands of years ago that these things will rather attach you more and more to your desires and more to your wanting and craving for accomplishments. Those people will rather attach you more, make you more and more attached to bhog or aishwarya, and they that will not give you a sthir buddhi. That can never ever. Imagine if you're constantly asking, thinking and wanting to be better and more and more and more, that means you are feeling less. You've been made to feel less than who you are right now. If you are made to feel completely complete, then why are you asking for more? Why you need more? Why you want one more of this, one more of that, one step ahead in this, one step ahead? Wherever you're going is perfect. Just do your duty. Just do your duty completely, wholeheartedly, with great honesty, consistency, and with great devotion. That should be the mindset. That should be the heartfelt desire. And not because I want to have this. Because once that is fulfilled, you'll have another desire. Then mind will never be stable. सब वेद 3 गुणों के कार्य रूप संसार को विषय करने वाले अर्थात प्रकाश देने वाले हैं. इसलिए तू असंसारी अर्थात निष्कामी और सुख दुख आदि द्वंद्वों से रहित नित्य वस्तु में स्थिर तथा योग क्षेम को ना चाहने वाला और आत्मपरायण हो. if you truly understand the tattva, that the true existence of us is the soul and not this body is just a vehicle for us to achieve, do certain tasks that we have come here for, and those tasks are through the will of God. And to understand that higher will, we have to be fully connected to our own inner selves. When we truly understand this, then the happiness, the sorrow, the ups and downs really do not bother us. It is possible to have a stable mind even when things are not going our way or things are going our way. But if we are too caught in this short lifespan of too much of emphasis on the I, then of course a little bit here and there, not according to our plan or desire, is going to be devastating for our mindsets. The example here is given is just like an ocean in which all sorts of rivers with different consistencies, with different kind of mineral values, with different kind of flow, or different kind of speed, different kind of strength and volume enters. Does it make any difference to the ocean? It really, have you ever seen ocean water rising or falling because 3 rivers came in today? No. The ocean remains the same, much to the indifference of what is being entered into it and what dries out of it. The ocean remains an ocean. That is what a sthir buddhi, a person with a very stable mind, becomes with the situations of life happening, coming into it, with different level of intensity, with different level of sources through different sources, through different circumstances at different age and at different hit that it can cause, but the person remains still. So before I said that was my favorite shloka, another of my favorite shloka is the shloka number 47. I'll read it out to you. इससे तेरा कर्म करने मात्र में ही अधिकार होए, फल में कभी नहीं, और तू कर्मों के फल की वासना वाला भी मत हो, तथा तेरे कर्म ना करने में भी प्रीति ना होए. So one, you only have the authority. It is very clearly written. The language is very strict. We only have authority to do our karma, to do our duty, not into its fruits. So do not desire. It's very clearly written as a strict instruction. So do not desire the fruits of your action. And do not desire to not do your duty. It's very clear, and it's one of my second most favorite. It is like the second, not second favorite, but 2 most favorite shlokas of Bhagwat Gita are these 2. That we only and only have to bother, or we have the right only to our karma according to Sanatan Dharma and our Swadharma. We do not have the right to the fruits of our karma. We do not have the right to desire it, and we do not have the right to not think of doing our karma. How much we do actually the opposite of that. We are continuously desiring this should lead to this much give, and that is what gives us. Now see how he slowly teaches us psychology. This is the essence, this is the epitome of psychology if you really want to understand. आसक्ति को त्याग कर तथा सिद्धि और असिद्धि में समान बुद्धि वाला होकर योग में स्थित होकर कर्मों को कर, यह समतव भाव ही योग नाम से जाना जाता है. Now what is yoga? No, twisting your body all over the world is not yoga. Learning some asanas and going from intermediate to very, very high level is not yoga. Trust me, I had joined yoga classes and I was really put off with the craze that it is to go to the next level, jump to the next level, do the most difficult asanas, and that is probably considered to be the higher level of yoga. It is not. Yoga means whether what you desired, if that happens or it doesn't happen, you remain same in that state of mind, in that state of your heart. And with that state of your mind and your heart, you continue to do your duty. This समता भाव, this कुछ भी कर्म किया जाए उसके पूर्ण होने या ना होने तथा उसके फल में समभाव होना समता भाव है. When you do something, so whether it fructifies or it doesn't, and you feeling exactly the same in both situations, not feeling happy also, not feeling very overwhelmed, oh look how much I have achieved, that is not stable mind. That is like you're very happy. So if you're happy, you're going to become sad also. Like I said, there is, the whole life is about duality. Someone who feels happy will always feel sad. Someone who feels sad will also get an opportunity to feel happy. So if you're feeling happy, very soon round the corner you'll be feeling sad. If you're feeling sad, soon round the corner you'll be feeling happy. So you'll be trapped in this cycle of sad and happy, happy and sad, happy and sad. But stable mind is neither happy nor sad. Peaceful mind is neither happy nor sad. It is same. In success, in failure, in fructifying your desires, in non-fructification of your desires. And that is what is योग. इस समता बुद्धि योग से सकाम कर्म अत्यंत तुच्छ है. So what I told you, sakam karm yog before, that is atyant tuchh hai. That means that is way below it. इसीलिए हे धनंजय समता बुद्धि योग का आश्रय ग्रहण कर, क्योंकि फल की वासना वाले अत्यंत दीन हैं. If you desire fruits, if your intention is to get benefits, fulfillment, achievements, go higher, 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 that is बहुत दीन है, बहुत छोटी बात है. Very low level of intelligence. समता बुद्धि योग पुरुष पुण्य पाप दोनों को इस लोक में ही त्याग देता है, अर्थात उससे लिपायमान नहीं होता. यह समता बुद्धि योग, बुद्धि रूप योग ही कर्मों में चतुरता है, अर्थात कर्म बंधन से छुटने का उपाय है. वर्स नंबर 50, चैप्टर 2. Sameness, samta buddhi yoga, steady mind is the most clever thing to achieve, to get rid of this whole bandhan of happiness, pain, suffering, enjoyment, to get out of this cycle, having samta buddhi. क्योंकि बुद्धि योग कर्मों से उत्पन्न होने वाले फलों को त्याग कर जन्म रूप बंधन से छुटे हुए निर्दोष अर्थात अमृत्य परम पद को प्राप्त होते हैं. सो ही टेल्स अर्जुन, व्हेन योर माइंड, सुन अर्जुन, जब तेरी बुद्धि मोह रूप दलादल को पूरी तरह से तर जाएगी, once you have come out of your desires, once you have come out of your lust, even for doing punya, doing the things that will take you to Swargaloka, even when you will come out of that desire, then you will be able to understand me, and then you will be able to find Vairagya. जब तेरी अनेक प्रकार के सिद्धांतों को सुनने से विचलित हुई बुद्धि परमात्मा के स्वरूप में अचल और स्थिर ठहर जाएगी, तब तू समता योग को प्राप्त होगा. एंड हाउ टू गेट दैट समता योग? Stop listening to too many opinions. Close your eyes and listen to the deep down wisdom that is within all of us. That is why meditation is the highest form of prayer. Karam Kanda, all that is a way to reach you to a point where you can finally go into deep meditation. and not into listening to someone, but listening to your inner self, listening to the God that lives within each one of us. Now, Arjun is asking, finally, it's 1 hour 10 minutes. So maybe I will make this second part, which will be a very short part, to finish and conclude the second chapter. If you, because that's very, very important. In that, the Arjun is asking, what are the qualities? How does that person look like who has the Sir Buddhi? How does he look like? What does he talk? How does he sit? What does he do? So tell me all about that person. So we will do that in part 2 of the chapter 2 because I think this video is too long and it will not do justice. So come back for the part 2 of this video soon, and let's end this video with these two Maha Mantras. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.